top Democratic operatives were working against Biden earlier than previously thought, and he used the debate as a setup. This is something that I talked about could have been a possibility months ago, and now we're seeing that this might be the case that happened with Biden. They intentionally set him up. They intentionally, because when they first announced the debates, I was like, wow, I can't believe Biden agreed to the debates, because we knew already how terrible he was, and they're gonna let the whole world see that. I couldn't believe it. So back then I was like, oh man, it sounds kind of fishy. Like they want people to see how terrible he is. And that looks, is starting to look like that's the case. Wow, this is incredible news. We're gonna talk a little bit about it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. I just put out a new video a couple days ago, so check that out on Patreon. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from the Western Journal, from Lori Wickenhauser, and she reports a new report Monday said Democratic Party leaders have been threatening to forcibly remove President Joe Biden from office, and even used his debate against former President Donald Trump last month to set him up for failure to help speed the process along. Wow. The report in the New York Post quoted a source close to the Biden family as saying the well-orchestrated palace coup to stop the faltering president from seeking re-election had been in place for weeks, but stubborn Biden fought it every step of the way. Wow. And I believe it, because he was polling so bad. They had to get rid of him. And he was refusing to do it. But they had to get rid of this man because he was polling so bad. No president was polling. The last president was polling as bad as him was Jimmy Carter, and we all remember the outcome of that. That's how we ended up with Ronald Reagan. But as the president dug in his heels and refused to yield to party bigwigs, threatened to employ the 25th Amendment, which describes the succession of power in case the president dies, resigns, or is removed from office, the report said. The amendment would allow the vice president and the cabinet, quote, to declare the president unfit to serve and force him to step down, the Post noted. The June 27th debate, quote, was a setup to convince Democrats that he couldn't run for president, the source told the outlet. Again, I wholeheartedly believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that's what exactly happened here. The Democrat Party staged the coup because Biden numbers is so low, that they have to have someone in place, because if they were going to do any type of shenanigans with him, people would automatically know that those shenanigans that happened. So they can't do that with Biden. So they had to replace him with somebody, is what I believe is really going on here. Even before that event, conservatives have been pointing to the president's declining mental and physical abilities and calling for him to resign, or at least drop out of this year's presidential race. I mean, when the media was caping for him, saying this is a conspiracy theory and all this other stuff. But until the debate, the White House vehemently denied there was anything wrong with Biden and claimed the criticisms were cheap fake videos deceptively edited to make the president look bad. Liberal media commentators played along with MSNBC Joe Scarborough, who said he has spent hours talking with the president, insisting just a few months ago that Biden was, quote, better than he's ever been intellectually. I can't even read that without laughing. Oh my gosh, this tells you how evil and despicable these people really are. Quote, this version of Biden intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever, Scarborough said during the program. Let me see. Let me see if this is the clip here that he says that.
Mental state. I've said it for years now. He's cogent. Mm-hmm. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years. And, you know, I don't know if people know this or not, Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say.
I can't with the mainstream media. But after the debate, many liberals joined the chorus of voices calling for the president to step aside. Even liberal news outlets, including the New York Times editorial board, called for him to leave the race. The Post story about the palace coup seemed to confirm what many observers had theorized. Philadelphia talk radio host Rich Zeoli said as much in a July 12 post on social media platform X. And here you go. Here he says the debate in June was a setup. Zeoli declared it was a setup to show everybody how bad Joe Biden is, because Joe Biden is going to lose to Donald Trump in a landslide, and they need him out of the race. Agreed. The Post source described Biden as displaying anger, paranoia, and frustration as the party elite circled around him and piled on the pressure. After the debate, the president's son, Hunter Biden, quote, suddenly became more involved in his father's day-to-day business and insisted upon attending every official and unofficial meeting, according to the source. Hunter felt Joe Biden, was being set up, and he was very concerned about his father, the person said. These people, these officials, were not on Joe's side. The source said Biden's White House staff members, quote, did not have any full warning about the bombshell decision to pull out of the race, which was known since at least Tuesday. The person confirmed that the president's decline has been noticeable for a long time. Quote, when I saw him a couple of years ago, it was frightening, the source said. That was a couple of years ago. He was just repeating slogans and had no idea who I was. A couple of years ago, people noticed this. It's just messed up. I mean, the Democrat Party is so evil, so corrupt that they're actually eating their own, staged a coup to get President Biden out of office and install this woman that nobody voted for and nobody really wants. Remember, she only got 1% of the vote. Kamala Harris only got 1% of the vote during the 2020 primaries. Nobody wanted her. She's a disaster. Her record is terrible. She's incompetent. She couldn't do her job as vice president well, and they know they couldn't put her there in the primaries because she would lose to anybody that would run against her. So they waited until now to get her installed because they don't want to use the democratic process. Who would have thought the Democratic Party don't want to use the democratic process to elect their officials? I've warned y'all about these people. Evil, evil organization. I don't know how anyone can go along with this, how anyone can vote Democratic, especially after seeing what went down with all of this. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.